Hi, my name is Erica Switzer, and I'm a fifth grade teacher at Franklin School of Innovation in Colorado. Um, I have been working here for 2 years as a teacher, and I got to spend 1 year here before I became a teacher as a student teacher. I started my career in education because I wanted another way to serve my community. I'm an Army veteran, and when I left the service, I needed another way to be able to serve not only my country but my community. And I felt that the best way to do that was to become an educator and to kind of share some of the life experiences and knowledge that I have gained over the years. If I could have another job outside of teaching, I think I'd be a park ranger. In fact, that's kind of my retirement plan. I would love to be able to continue teaching people, but instead of math and fractions and how to write and read, instead teach them about the environment and what an amazing place this earth is, and how we as humans can make it a better place. A natural world is an amazing place to live. Natural schools are so cool. And you can learn so much, even math and reading out in the woods. So it's definitely a passion of mine. Kids different now than 30 years ago? Absolutely. I'm 33, and I know that when I was in school 15 years ago, that it was a lot different from now. For once, like, we have computers. I have a one-on-one classroom. We didn't have that when I was in school. We had to go to a computer lab that, with all of the rows of desktop computers. And so this one-on-one technology is hugely different, especially, even with having that one-on-one, I find that it's almost more challenging to differentiate or to make sure that everybody is included within a lesson, simply because the literacy of computers isn't 100% for everybody yet. I have students who don't have a home computer or don't have access to the internet, and they're only using a cell phone, which is fine. A lot of our computer programs that we use are applications that can be found on the phone, such as Google Classroom and iExcel, but they are slightly different when we are working with them on a computer, so that literacy can be a little difficult for some students, and especially ESLs. Our English language accommodations for those students who are coming in not speaking English as their first language, with technology, it's helped immensely. But at the same time, we as educators are still kind of catching up to that, I feel, even 30 years later. I would say that teaching is much different now simply because of that technology. Our kids are so connected. They have all of this information in front of them that we find that they have like this learned helplessness. They need to be led by their hand everywhere because they have it all. Why do they need to go search for stuff? So that critical thinking and problem solving, I feel, has really softened over the past 30 years. As well as, I would say, parental backing. I remember when I was in school, my parents were all over everything. We went to every conference. We were at every school night. And now, out of 20 kids, I might have 7 that show up for parent-teacher conferences and maybe 3 for any type of school night. And I work for a Title I school. So it's a lot different from when I was in school and witnessing stuff to what I am seeing now. And even my teammates say the same thing. As a new teacher, talking to those teachers who are up and coming, our pre-service teachers, it's another passion of mine. I help my principal with the Teacher Pipeline Project, where we have partnered with one of our local universities in getting those pre-service teachers into schools for longer than just our required, 2 days a week for that 45 minutes. Instead, they're getting to spend in a whole school year learning how to be a teacher, but as a student teacher. So then their first day on the job isn't quite so, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? So What would I say? I don't know. For somebody becoming a pre-service teacher, one, this is one of the most rewarding jobs that you could ever get. But it's also one of the most frustrating. Today, I'm a fifth grade teacher and I have 20 kids. I laugh and cry in frustration within 5 minutes of each other. It can be a roller coaster of a day, but at the end of the day, you've made connections with these young people and these young minds, and they are our future, and that's why we become teachers. One thing to help kids learn better, I think it would be to incorporate more play. I think that we learn a lot from play, and if we have intentional playtime in school where kids are exploring on their own and they're learning on their own, and they're going to take ownership of that, and in the end they're going to make a deeper connection, they're going to take that experience, and it's really going to last a lifetime for them. I think that as a teacher, all teachers are amazing and wonderful, and a good many are incredibly frustrated with where the education industry is going, and I wouldn't want a pre-service teacher taking the politics that are in today's world and in today's media and applying that to what teaching is, because it's not about the administration. It's not about the rules. It's not about the curriculum or our scope and sequence. It's not about the standards. At the end of the day, it's about making that connection with the student and making sure that the student connects the information to their life. If we're just talking at them, they're not learning. And I think that pre-service teachers should know that kids need to experience that learning, and that would be the one thing that I would change is just, inquiry-based. Make it so that the kids are curious instead of just talking at them. And it's, I mean, this is an amazing job. It's rewarding, it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, we're changing the future.